Starting to fall heavier, no doubt about that, as it was Taka Nakagami this morning who made the best return.
Tell you what, I'm walking out on it now and it's still going, so it could get wet enough. But, like, yeah, I dare say we're going to have it.
And very little to gain, so at least I expect to see most of the rides, if not all of them, go out and have a look in these rain conditions.
Job done this morning for the world in the second half of the season, and this is Fabio Quartararo. Now, Fabio Quartararo openly admitted yesterday before the press.
I think we already started quite well, better than last year, and yeah, unfortunately now the weather is on the top, and that's he's saying that those two areas we improve.
Chianika Lekawona heading out. Johan Zarco doesn't normally wait long, does he, to test the conditions? He's now heading out on his Pramac Ducati, is certainly on two wheels anyway.
Fair to say, back in the day, Valentino Rossi and Jorge Lorenzo were bitter rivals. He switched to Ducati. Oh, that's great to see, isn't it? Davide Brivio, the Alpina F1 team chief, back in MotoGP weekend in Hungary. We'll settle for a bit more drama like that on two wheels here this weekend, won't we? Great to see Brivio back though, where his heart belongs, I'm sure.
Yeah.
The floor there, he was also making sure he wasn't going to be impeding anybody coming out of the pit lane exit as well. Now that Ika Lekawona is that's down. So two session there, wasn't there once?
Yeah, it was. Joan Mir also went straight on as Lekawona went down. Yeah, it was a Moto2 car park. Yeah.
Yes, in these kind of conditions, it's always low grit in rain conditions, but particularly around this Red Bull Ring as well. It can be distinguished an illustrious career yesterday, winding down towards the end of an era in many respects in MotoGP. I just love it.
It's not the start to 2021 and Repsol Honda Life that he was hoping for thus far. The Honda has been troublesome. That could be so crucial. Last year, remember, during that crucial test in Misano, they found something that really pushed their riders forward and give him a bike so that he can deliver performances as he was last year, of course, here in Austria on the KTM.
It has been tough, not higher than 8th place so far on the factory Honda. And the sunshine, that seems like a long time ago now, doesn't it? Already Taka Nakagami getting braced for action.
Jack Miller and Bagnaia, they'll be on that machine next year. Well, we just saw him on screen, wonderful, and we mentioned the congratulations. Davide Brivio is...
I speak for most of the paddock here when I got a smile when I saw your face back on the TV, that your ball. What's it like being back in the paddock here? But what is your new job like? Can you give us a little insight on what the difference is?
Yeah, to come back in the paddock, to be honest, it looks like, I don't know, I was here yesterday, so it's not a big deal. It's nice to be here between. It's a world I've been for more. Now, yeah, my job is completely different. To be honest, it's a different world. It's a motorsport, bigger parts, many more parts, a bigger car, I mean, many more parts, many more people. So the like a different way of approaching it's very interesting, the engineering behind the technology.
Drivers and riders in general, if you don't mind me asking.
Yeah, no. I mean, that's of course many similarities because their job while they're driving or riding, and probably in Formula One you have much more his own, you know, and so that's maybe the major difference. And but in Formula One and also technical meetings, that many meetings going on, while MotoGP maybe a little bit less. All technical meetings all together, all working together, all the teams, the driver and the engineer. Then of course on the track is another. Everybody is on. We are used to say that the worst competitor is your teammate, no? That's some. So few different, but that's what I'm saying. I mean, we can talk a lot, but it's interesting to see.
Your job.
Okay, we won a race last weekend. But okay, that's for some circumstances, but also the team was ready and prepared to be there and ready and prepared to take the opportunity because from Fernando protecting Esteban that was leading and things like that. Honestly, I'm just arrived, so I cannot say there's not so much working there. And as I say, the team did a good job to take the opportunity.
Last thing I have to ask you, can you give us a few words?
Yesterday, I follow the press conference on my phone because I wasn't here. The Valentino Rossi's one. So of course it's a special moment. Valentino retiring from MotoGP. It also in my career, in my job, it comes from there, if you like, you know. So I have very
clinging you into MotoGP or even before that.
No. I mean, I was in MotoGP. I was in Yamaha. He was in Honda. We joined from him. He changed Yamaha mentality, how Yamaha was approaching racing, I think. I mean, at his point of view. And then also, I mean, it's no doubt also my personally, my career from there, because of what I have done with Valentino, they thought I could bring something to Suzuki. So from this point of view, thanks Valentino for it.
Session. Wish you best of luck. Great to see you in the paddock.
Thank you very much, and great to see everybody of you as well.
From the paddock whenever you hear him talk. Some lovely words there on the transition into Formula One, and of course some brilliant moments.
I could just have carried on listening to that interview for another half an hour, to be honest.
Well, another man who always finds a way is Marc Marquez. He has gone out.
Excellent news, great to see. Oh, here is Maverick Vinales then. Finally tempted out of the sanctuary of the monster.
Exactly going on in the mind of Maverick Vinales. And then yesterday, in the pre-event press conference, apologising to part ways with Yamaha. Some journalists asking this afternoon to Takahiro Sumi whether or not that's something that can...
Rewinding back a few hours to this morning, turn 3. Miguel Oliveira, look at that first gear, that turn 3. He's a little bit wide, and then you can hear the rear tyre spin up underneath him. Looked like a fairly innocuous crash, only had a warm-up crash, really slow speed. He broke his back. It was horrible impact. And Miguel Oliveira, concerning times for Oliveira, whether he's just not willing to push and risk it in these conditions.
The fastest man on circuit in these conditions, Marc Marquez, has just passed Johan Zarco, who's quickly into his wheel tracks. He's
the changing conditions. Well, you're looking at him right now, Marc Marquez on the 93 Repsol Honda. A 13, the two teammates.
Yuki Lakaona, fifth at the moment, estimated P2. He's shown in the past it gets wet. That's not something that you hear from many riders, and he does go to P2 with 33.1 then. So it's Marquez.
Owner excelled here in the two races here last year. Pair of top 10s, which is a real boost for him at the time. Looks like he might be heading back to Moto2 next year now. Then Valentino Rossi, that's down at the bottom of the hill into turn 4 as well, isn't it? By quite a considerable margin. Makes a similar error. He's dropping down the hill into turn 4.
As he went down the gearbox there, so opted for the safe option through the gravel trap and then rejoining circuit. A huge shout out. Done hardly any laps at all in wet conditions on a MotoGP bike, and around this tricky and treacherous Marini, sorry, as well.
Yeah.
Marini's a couple of places up ahead of him in 9th. Excellent from a pair of rookies.
Jorge Martin doing a great job. Let's pop back down to Simon in pit lane. I think he's got a bit of an update on Miguel Oliveira.
A nice pack on it.
Thanks for that. Yeah, that's concerning, isn't it? What a shame for Miguel Oliveira. Not the way he wanted to start the team's home.
It's going to make this weekend a long one, to say the least.
It's a game that certainly from last year needed to improve to fight for a world championship. In Le Mans in the flag-to-flag race, he was absolutely delighted. Struggling here though in this afternoon session.
Great clear visor shot sent of the top two men in the World Championship right now, Quartararo and...
Amazing to think, isn't it, that when Valentino Rossi leaves the paddock, and that's provided Andrea Dovizioso doesn't make a return.
You look at all of Valentino Rossi's career stats and you try and comprehend the magnitude of what he's still able to...
Apologise because I can't remember who put it on Twitter this morning, but somebody said that just to kind of...
Last season, and I hope we can. In these 3 races, I believe that he's going to be with you. What is Carl's aim, or what is the team's aim with Carl? Because it's probably the most demanding machinery-wise.
Yeah, indeed. Also, our aim is basically Silverstone to try to get the best package, to have him in the flow and get the dust out of his hair.
Before I let you go, I have to ask you. I mean, Valentino's leaving. That's a spot you've got to fill.
At this point, but yeah, it's clear that when Maverick decided to leave Yamaha, there is a spot available there. Our aim between Yamaha and our team to decide what we want to do, but also what Franco wants to do.
Wilco, you've done a great...
It's a little bit early at this point. Yeah, we cannot say basically nothing, you know, so I don't want to say it.
Wilco, good luck.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, thanks very much, Simon. Thanks to Wilco Zeelenberg. Yeah, it's a peculiar scenario, isn't it? Seats available going into 2022.
Well, we know Franco Morbidelli has already requested a move to the factory team, and it's the natural career step for Franco Morbidelli. You can understand why, if that chance comes along, that with Fabio Quartararo next year, and of course that does create a significant headache for the Malaysian-backed team. They could probably have coped with Remy Gardner not on the market, Ralph Fernandez not on the market because of his big buyout clause and his loyalty to K. Some of the big hitters in Moto2 unavailable.
Well, I mean, you know, you just never know. It could mean that Moto2 in MotoGP.
Well, that was the beauty of the Petronas situation. They said, we're not in any rush. We're happy to wait 2 or 3 races, but in Moto2 right now to string together a real strong run of results. I mean, don't discount the likes of Xavi Vierge. Bring those guys, nurture those guys to be ready to move into MotoGP. So Vierge and Dixon, if they have...
He surprised me in that intelligent, more observant, more caring. If I was them, it's like give the kid a chance on the next step up and then the next step up again. That's my thoughts.
It's his 10th, 1 place behind Vierge in the Moto2 Championship, but his name has cropped up a few times as well. So
3 Grand Prix.
And let's not forget, it's worth noting as well, Steve, is that Yamaha's satellite team, be it Tech 3 Quartararo, Fabio Quartararo was nowhere near anybody's top list for a MotoGP. Next, Fabio Quartararo, aren't they? Somebody that they can nurture, mould and develop into his future.
Quite clear, he's signed to stay in World Superbike for the next few years.
Nail on head, mate. He was when he committed himself to Yamaha in World Superbikes for another 2 years. Great news for World Superbike fans, of course. But
well, you can see here the lap time still tumbling. Savadori fastest now from me. In terms of the lap times, immaterial as to who would advance through to Q2. If you're just tuning in, we had a dry, sunny morning session out there, and that is quite clearly a slick tyre in there.
Conditions that are just tailor-made for Bagnaia goes up into 4th place. Now with that clear emerging dry line, Valentino Rossi is having his problems. Grip levels in the mixed conditions have always been his bugbear. He's down leading Yamaha right now is Maverick Vinales, who came out of the pits late. Up in the top.
There is incorrect, the medium front soft wet rear. Apologies for that. The checkered flag out in just under 30 seconds.
Yeah, that'll be a nice boost for Lorenzo Savadori. Rain or shine, that's exactly what he's on course to be doing at the moment, although late on there's some pressure building, certainly from the likes of Johan Zarco. Over the line, Aleix Espargaro will come, and he slops his Aprilia inside the top 3 as well. So the Aprilia
green there for Nakagami, just behind him Alex Rins on a lap here that could put him up into the top 6.
Up on him big start, and that's why Alex Rins was able to sweep by through.
Zarco then, estimated P3, but he's not got... He goes second, 31.4 for now then. Savadori holds on to top spot.
What is it about?
Near himself, about to come across the line. He's already in 3rd. Will he improve? He does improve his time, but not position. Mark
strong wet weather rider he is. Just tapping the world champion there on the shoulder. Is he as good in the...
Big smile on the face there of Romano Albaciano. Just saw in the background there Antonio Hib where it is, Matt. I don't think many people were expecting Aleix Espargaro to get 6 top 8 finishes.
Well, that a top-notch level rider like Maverick Vinales is entertaining riding for them next year. You know, like the infield section. But with the greatest respect to Aprilia, they've not been able to attract the calibre of rider like Maverick Vinales. Do you know what? I reckon I could do some damage on that.
Well, there is Maverick. He did go out on circuit in the end. Vinales ended that in last place, number 46 in 22nd. But of course, there's more to come tomorrow. There's a T-shirt somewhere.
Well, they Marquez defenders though as well. More divided loyalty in the grandstands in Austria. Attacking Nakagami then. Vinales, Quartararo, Zarco. I seem to recall it was Jack Miller, wasn't he? Yeah, in the top 10. No improvement. Who did top that second session with a 1:31.304. Slow then was 20th in that second session.